For the first time, this is a special event. We're on the shores of the Bosphorus in Istanbul in Turkey at the DLD Istanbul conference. And we're here to talk about the digital opportunities and the digital ecosystem in Turkey. Very informal, I'm drinking, he's smoking. Sina?
Yes, Sina, Markofoni, CEO and Chairman.
Sina, Markofoni, CEO and Chairman. So, Sina, before we talk about the broad digital ecosystem in Turkey, tell me what you're doing.
Well, Markofoni is a flash sale site which was founded 4 years ago. And now we have expanded outside of Turkey, which was the first Turkish internet company going abroad. So we started in Australia. We have 200 employees in Australia, 300 in the Ukraine, and in 8 other Eastern European countries, and 600 in Turkey. It's a flash sales, like the Guild Group in the US.
Sina, every East European or Middle Eastern country claims to have an important ecosystem. Why should we care about what's happening in Turkey? What's interesting about your ecosystem?
Look, I will tell you the difference between our ecosystem and ecosystems in other countries like Russia and Brazil, which are usually compared to ours. E-commerce is booming in Turkey because the economy is booming. We have a young population and we have by far the strongest logistics infrastructure. So I'm able to send to any place 400 miles away from Istanbul in 24 hours to ship. The logistics infrastructure is incredibly well developed. Secondly, I have the second highest credit card penetration in Turkey after the UK and Europe. So at Markofoni, all the people pay 100% with credit cards. And this changes the economics significantly. What happens with the boom is that many people come from FMCG, from consulting, banking industries into the Turkish and internet economy, which all happens in Istanbul, and we call Istanbul digital Bosporus, a little bit like Silicon Valley.
20 million people in Istanbul, right?
We guess between 15, 18, 20, something like that. More than 15, less than 20.
Give me some numbers, Sina, on who's connected in Turkey. You've got about, 70 million people living in Turkey?
That's right. 36 are in the internet, so there's a penetration rate of 48%. 9 million are spending money in e-commerce. 20 million users use their mobile devices to access to the internet. The total volume of the Turkish e-commerce is something about $11 billion. That are the major numbers for us.
Sina, there's going to be a lot of people on this who are watching from Silicon Valley. Should they be thinking about investing? Should they be nervous? Are you competitors? Are you partners to what's happening in Silicon Valley?
Look, the Valley guys already came here. Kleine Perkins came and invested here, and I know that lots of people from the Valley are looking for interesting Turkish ventures. The piece in Turkey is a big country compared to the scattered patterns in the Middle East or Eastern Europe, and it's also a hub. So if you are successful in Turkey, you can access the Ukraine. You can access Eastern European countries, you can access Dubai or Jordan. And this makes Turkey very interesting. It's a little bit like an emerging tiger in the internet.
Sina, I spent a little bit of time earlier this summer in Greece. A lot of entrepreneurs said to me there that the reason why there are a lot of startups in Greece is because young people have little to lose given the economic situation. In Turkey, though, things are better. What is bringing young, smart Turks into doing startups and becoming entrepreneurs?
I think they are inspired by the role models Turkey generated in the last 3 or 4 years. They want to build up international Turkish companies. They want to build up new brands in Turkey. And many people who used to go to consulting, banking, accounting and stuff like this now come to the internet business and try to prove themselves as entrepreneurs. And there is a very big entrepreneurial culture in the Turkish culture.
Give me some examples of Turkish companies that can become world beaters, that won't just dominate this particular market, that could begin to dominate the markets of Eastern Europe, of Russia and the Middle East.
Look, let me give you one example. There is a food delivery company called Yemek Sepeti. You can order, you see all the menus in Istanbul. You can order online. It's delivered into Yemek Sepeti, yes, I need to write it down. But they received an investment from General Atlantic, which is the first investment from General Atlantic. They have 50,000 orders per day in Turkey. So, and this is, for me, the most successful food delivery business in the world. They started now to go to Russia, they are successful in Moscow. They started to go to GCC and they are successful in Dubai. And now with the new investment on GA, now they will start to go to Eastern Europe and the other MENA countries. So Yemek Sepeti is a good example for something which went through the high competitive level in Turkey. I call it digital Darwinism. It has been successful here and now taking the knowledge to outside of Turkey.
Sina, in your speech at DLD today, you talked about digital Darwinism, but it seems as if it's the dominant American companies, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Googles, that are still pretty much dominating the market here. Is that fair?
That's fair. So the digital Darwinism is especially valid for gaming and e-commerce. This is what Turkey can do without, the big funding support you need for Twitter, Google, Facebook, and stuff like this. Our world is e-commerce and gaming, and there is a big digital Darwinism. Have you heard about a country with 17 flash sale sites, and 5 of them simultaneously and at the same time in television? This is Turkey.
E-commerce, though, raises the specter of Amazon. Are they here? Can you compete with them?
Amazon is not here. I don't think that we are on the map of Amazon.
Well, if anyone from Amazon's watching, you can look in your atlas and find Turkey. Why aren't Amazon here?
I think they have different priorities. They have invested into one small company here for a very successful flour delivery business and minority stake. So they started to collect some knowledge about Turkey. But I think they have other priorities. As far as I know, Amazon is active in 9 or 10 countries, and there is still a way to go until they come to Turkey.
What about gaming? What can you contribute? I mean, gaming is very well done in Western Europe and in the US. What's so interesting about what the Turks are doing in the gaming sector?
Well, there are two things. First of all, we have Peak Games, which is the third biggest social media company after Zynga and I forgot the second one, but it's the third biggest in the social gaming environment.
Does Zynga still exist?
I think so, yes, they are successful. But the second thing is, Turkey is the hub to export the games into MENA and Eastern Europe. Much easier to use Istanbul as a hub, much easier than you can do it from Budapest or from Amman in Jordan.
So what you're saying then is Turkey is geographically well placed to become an important player both in Eastern Europe and in the Middle East. In other words, geography still matters.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And it's not only geography, it's also the history. The Turkish internet is a little bit also the return of the Ottoman. It is very simple because there are so many cultural ties to all the countries around us. It is so easy for Turks to access those countries because of the historical relationships and the knowledge. It makes it a little bit easier to access Ukraine from Turkey as from Germany.
Sina, the Ottomans have a reputation for tolerance, but of course in the Middle East there are also political and cultural forces for intolerance. How are those forces impacting the internet in Turkey?
I think the internet in Turkey is a very tolerant group of people, and they will try to export the tolerance into the entire region.
So you're generally positive. People should invest, people should come and live, startup entrepreneurs rather than going to Budapest or Prague should come to Istanbul?
Oh, definitely. They will find here so much talent, so much young people. And think about the country changed in the last 8 years. The GDP per capita increased from 3,000 to 11,000. There is a big change going on. And sometimes I think the world is not aware of this change, what's happening in Istanbul right now. They know Istanbul as a hip city, but there is much more going on. It's not by chance that DLD is here, that tomorrow Webit is starting. Last week we have been Endeavor ISPs and 2 other conferences. I think this is a real emerging market at the frontiers of Europe.
Well, whether it's on the frontiers of Europe, it's a spectacular scene. You've got the Bosphorus in the background. And I want to wish you the best of luck and indeed the whole Turkish infrastructure for building a viable digital economy in Turkey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.